If you're new, let me, let's see here. Audio. Okay, hold on, guys. I'm gonna hop out and jump in once. I hate doing this. Okay, I'll try it. Just tell me if you can hear me now. Anybody hear me? Anybody? Tell me if you can hear me. Yes, you guys can hear me. It's one of these settings things in here. I actually had to switch some equipment up today. So everybody can hear me? Good. Perfect. Awesome. So we're talking about comping today, and I have no idea what that stupid beeping is, but you can tell I'm on some new hardware here today. So um, awesome. Hey, is that okay? I'll ask later on that. That's funny. I see a name on here from an old school um, investing. But I got to see it. Anyways, make a friend in the comments. We'll put a link up there to do one-on-ones towards the end of this, about halfway through, and make use of it. We only talk about wholesaling here. If you're here for something else, you're going to waste your time. And let's be productive and get it. And if you are new to this, I am going to put on the bottom right here, freewholesaling.com. I can't go over everything I do in wholesaling. We've compacted 40 hours into freewholesaling.com, me and my son, 30 years experience. And if you want to get the truth on how to get started in wholesaling, it's wholesaling. I got to make that distinguishable difference. I got it scrolling across the bottom. I'm going to take it off so we don't have any distractions here. It's 100% free. Don't worry. I'm not going to bang you over the head with a course. And you want to get going. If you're asking about the whiteboard behind me, my son threw this in before I hopped in, and he wanted to, maybe you guys can coach me on some phrases to, I don't know, keep me relevant. So if you can give me like 2 phrases before we end this thing, I've done my job, because he throws stuff out on the live stream. I'm just like, I don't even know what the hell he's talking about. Honestly, give me 2, because I'm going to play a game with him when we go on live tomorrow, which we got a really, really cool live stream tomorrow. Me and Zach are going to be on there, but I'd like to mess with him. So I need your guys' help on that. So no cap. There's a good one. Put it in there. I'll look at your suggestions, because God knows you don't want me doing it. So, okay, I'm going to take off the freewholesaling.com and let's get into it. Okay. Anyways, we're talking about comping, and I'm here I want you guys to understand comping is just the mathematical part of wholesaling. And somehow comping got into where everybody wants the perfect comp. So comp is short for comparable analysis. You want. Because most of you are treating comping like you're a licensed realtor. I don't know about you. I don't want to be a licensed realtor. Think about it. Why does a realtor comp a property? Because they're trying to show their sellers the value of their home and then what they bring to the table by getting them the tippy top dollar. They also know that if they give the seller an unreal Okay, can you guys hear me now? Give me a thumbs up or not. I'm sorry. What about now? Can you hear me? Someone put a comment. I know there's a little bit of a link. Okay, awesome. I just talk louder. I'm going to use off the computer audio. So, what I was basically saying that I stepped on myself here is realtors comp everything. Wholesalers should comp very few. If I get 100 prospects, which is the norm, like if I'm just giving you a segment, I'm only going to comp maybe 5 or 7 of them. That's it. I'm not going to do any more. It's a waste of time. I don't make any money doing it. I'm going to show you why you guys do it, and I'm going to show you how to prevent it. Listen, repeat to me. You do not make money comping and wholesaling. Now, don't get me wrong. You have to do it. It's like starting a car. Either you push a button or turn the key. You can't go anywhere unless you start the car. That's how I look at kind of comping to a point. But I'm only going to turn that key or push the start button on people that I know I want to do business with. Because if you comp everything, you're doing a realtor service and you actually make it very difficult to buy the property. So let's jump onto it. Sorry about the volume again. It's so funny. I just want to check something here while I got this. I'm trying to figure out. Let's see. Okay, everybody can hear me now. Let's go forward. So we have to understand that rule number 1, I'm going to tell you right now, marketing crushes comping. If you're ever going to be something really, really good in wholesaling, you've got to figure out how to market. In fact, in my 23 years of wholesaling, marketing has made me the absolute most money. Comping's probably made the least amount of money. Now, I'm not saying you can't buy a property without comping, but I'm here to tell you there's plenty of properties I put under contract. I didn't even know what the comp was. Why? Because I was getting it so cheap, I didn't care. I knew it was a no-brainer. I didn't do that in the beginning. I'm going to walk you through why and let you show you how it works. So if we understand that, if you guys can understand marketing, I will never change this philosophy. Why? Because the absolute best wholesalers I've ever met in my life or done business with or that I know are wildly successful, every one of them have the one common trait. They're master marketers without question. Do it in the internet. They can do it direct mail. They do it just networking with people. They've just figured out how to use social media to get leads. They're really good at it, period. So if you think you can just outsource your marketing, it sounds great in theory. I've tried it. Your return on investment, your ROI is going to be dismal because it ain't free. It's actually very expensive and you miss some of the control. So understanding that marketing is the number 1 skill set of a wholesaler, period. Please take this home. Why? Because I want you to take all that energy you're doing comping and put it in the marketing. Because you get a massive return for it. You don't get it for comping. And you're in an age where comping's never, in my opinion, been easier. And I'm going to show you. We'll go through it step by step, show you how to do it. So I'm going to give you a controversial statement, which is probably going to piss off a lot of realtors, but I don't care. Comping is not a skill set. It's just like learning the Alexa on your home thing so it can hear everything you say. You got to go through the settings, you got to read the manual or click the online link or use the QR code and figure it out. That's how you got to look at comping. Why? Here's the reality. Why do we not have to worry about being the perfect comper as a wholesaler? It's simple, guys, because comping is not going to get you the best deal possible. In fact, I'm going to teach you today why most of you that are overcomping are using it as a crutch, meaning it's actually hurting your wholesale business. You're going the wrong direction with it. You see, comping it's not a skill set. It's just a function. It is the math part of wholesaling. The real value in wholesaling is connecting with motivated sellers. It's never been comping. When I started out, I used a realtor for comps. Give me the comp. Like I go to McDonald's, give me the comp. Like give me the number 3, give me the comp. And that's it. But some of you guys, here's what you do with your comp. You get them. And with technology and AI, you're like, I watched someone, what was it? Was it Thursday? It was Wednesday or Thursday. We were working on a deal together, JV. And I was teaching a lesson at the time. By the way, if you do a deal with me, sellmypaper.com, I'll walk you through everything. But the bottom line is I said, what's the comp you came up? And he started going, well, I got this one in this neighborhood, and I got this one, and then this one, they painted it. And then it's what I call cherry picking comps. You shouldn't have to ever do that. Take the comp, worst, throw out the high, throw out the low, and accept the number. But what do? We try to manipulate the comp. Why do we try to manipulate the comp? Because you're trying to justify your BS offer. If you have to hunt and do all this stuff to your comps and you're putting your personal bias in it, it's not a comp. It's an excuse. And I'm here to tell you, when the comp spits out, and trust me, there are exceptions on some comps, but for the most part, the dang comp's telling you you're overpaying for the property. You better get it at a lower price. No. But what do some of you guys do? You try to twist the comp. And then some of you will spend like an hour and a half. Like, I found a comp. It's 5 miles over. Guys, it's never going to work. I've been caught in this nightmare scenario. If you have to work excessively to get the comp, it means you're in grave danger or you've absolutely overpaid for your property. That's exactly what I've learned through wholesaling. And if you understand that, let it know about it. I used to do this all the time. So anyways, let's keep going here. So the main thing you got to understand, if you understand comping is not a skill set, we have to go through the fundamentals. You always have to learn the fundamentals of wholesaling. And what do I mean by that? People who want to sell their house versus people who need to sell their house. Wholesaling at its core is focusing on people that need to sell their house. But really in the last 5 to 7 years, wholesaling's trying to take in a shift and trying to cater to the people that want to sell their house. I don't do this. I don't agree with it. It doesn't mean you can't do it. It's not wholesaling though. When you stick to people who need to sell their house, like people off their government list, which you can get over at freewholesaling.com, is people in foreclosure, people behind on their taxes, people that have lost their job, people that have their water shut off, people in probate, somebody passed away, people lost their job, people on the code violation list. These are people that need to sell their house. And they need speed and convenience in exchange. And that's the service we offer as a wholesaler because we guide them through the process. But somehow in the last 5 to 7 years, wholesaling, and I've watched this from above, has migrated to the one. Now, you can attack people who want to sell your house in a hot seller's market. Let me repeat that. You can actually have success chasing people who want to sell their house in a smoking hot seller's market. So let's recap here. From 2013 all the way to 2021, 22, you had an unprecedented seller's market. I don't think we'll ever see it again in our lifetime. You had the pandemic, you had interest rates below 3%, and there was just no inventory anywhere. Even I was getting people who wanted to sell the house. I knew it would last. It was insanity, and everybody looked like a hero, and they called it wholesaling. Guys, I'm here to tell you more than half those people were not wholesaling because you could do want and need. You're in a buyer's market now for the most part across the country. The best wholesale deals are always from people who need to sell. So all those people that chase the want, they're all floundering right now because they don't understand the fundamental difference. Remember, people who want to sell their house are primarily focused on the offer, and that's it. That is not my skill set. I am not a pure cash buyer. Here's the offer. Did I beat everybody else? That's the only way you beat those people. And you want to know why you guys are fighting when you do those, just look, do they want or they need? Now, if you come around the corner and you have these skill sets on people who need to sell their house and you understand the fundamentals of how it works, the next time you get a seller's market comes around the corner, you can add that fuel on it. But let's not call that wholesaling. That is much more of a speculation. And if you do wholesaling correct, you really don't risk a lot. It's just the God honest truth. It's why people hate wholesalers. We're smart. We know how to go out there and find the best opportunities with the least amount of risk. It's not for everybody, and I know that. But I'm just telling you, please focus right here. Want versus need. Here's people that fill out forms online, do PPC, PPL. Occasionally, they're people that need to sell, but you get so many investors, cash buyers, realtors, wholesalers, everybody chasing them. And what did I tell you when you chase someone? What happens? If you have something, say you put up something on eBay and you go, I'm gonna put it out for $100. And all of a sudden he goes, I'll give you 110 right now. Just sell it to me now. And then another guy goes, I'll give you 120. And the lady goes, I'll give you 150. What do? You were here and you go, I'm going to start pulling over this way because they're chasing me. So when they chase you, you push back. And that's how wholesaling works. You got to go find the people that you're directly to them. You can get behind the story on the property and you don't have 5,000 other people pursuing the exact same person, and then give them exactly what they want. Most people sell to me over my last 23 years is because they believe I'm confident and they trust me, and I give them certainty I solve their problem. Am I the highest priced? Absolutely. I'm not even close. I don't even care. Price is never the determining factor when I buy a wholesale deal. Now, you got to go out and market and find enough people that need to sell your house. But for the most part, you guys are frustrated with your comping. It's because you're focusing on people that just want to sell their house, and you got to understand that. So let's dive in this and let's walk through the sequence here so we can become better wholesalers so we don't have this problem. So now, I've already told you the number one problem with wholesalers, why? Because you guys submit thousands and thousands of deals to me and Zach, and we appreciate it. The number one reason they're rejected is they're overpriced. There, I said it. I just tell you the truth. I know it's not what you want to hear, but it's the absolute God honest the truth. How is everything overpriced? 90% of what comes in is overpriced. How are we getting this so wrong? I don't understand. And let me tell you why. The reason why people are overpaying or overcommitting, overcontracting is probably a better word, because let's face it, the ones that people are overpaying on the contract purchase and sale agreement, you guys are never closing them anyway. So you're doing a massive disservice to your sellers and yourself. The reality is, why are people overcontracting? Here's the reality is, they want the easy route. They want that yes. You just want a yes. You've been programmed your entire life to get a yes. I got to get a yes. Oh my God, how can I get a yes? And you know how you get a yes? Here's how you get a yes. Ready? You guys start with your MAO. So say a property's worth, say you've estimated its open market value is 200,000. Let's just use it for a round number. And you guys come in at an MAO of like 175, okay? Maybe the property's in really, really good shape. And you go at that, but what does MAO stand for? Somebody put in the comments, what does MAO stand for? It doesn't stand for mayo on your sandwich. Maybe I need to put MAO up here. Mayo, what, ketchup, mustard, whatever you want to call it. What's MAO stand for? Because it's important we understand this. You guys know what MAO stands for. There you go. He's got it right. I'm just seeing if you're paying attention. Maximum allowable offer. Here's the problem though. If we start with an MAO or even close to it, where the hell are you going after that? So let's think about this. I should be using the board behind me. Actually, let's do that. It's a good idea. So I'm gonna have to lean in the talk here. I still need two hip phrases here, because then you guys can get in on the joke tomorrow when hopefully Zach's not listening to the live stream. Hopefully he's working out like he said he was. Okay, so if that's the target price, 200, get this dang thing out of the way, and say your MAO is right here. Just say ARV, MAO. Say it's 175. Say you make the offer at 175. What are you going to do if they say no? Or worse, what are you going to do if they say yes? If they say yes right off the bat, I guarantee you've overpaid for the property. And you guys get this all the time. I ask them, I go, how much am I negotiating? So I made an offer and they said yes. That's realtor stuff, guys. That's realtor trading. If you got a yes on your first offer, I guarantee you 99.99% of the time you overpaid for it. You overcontracted. So say I make 175 and the seller goes, nope, that's a hard no, Rick. What are you going to do? What are you going to do this? Will you take 178? Nope, I'm not taking 178. See, guys, that's not a negotiation. That means you're order taking and you're stuck. And the higher you keep going up, what does this seller do? They're going to keep going this direction on you. Now, some of you come in and go, I'll give you 185. I'm going to give it because I want a yes. The seller goes, 185? I didn't think they'd even go above 180. Go, no. I'll take 199. And the seller's actually thinking about moving the price up. Guys, you see, Pete, this is called moving the goalpost. If you chase a seller hard, it's going to be a terrible deal. Now, you chase them for the marketing. I'm not telling you not to do that. But the reality is, if you chase them hard by doing the MAO, you have nowhere to go. Like, what are you going to do? 179, 180, 181, 182. Like, it's such a small margin. And you got to play around with it psychologically. The reality is, guys, you need to be, okay, this is 0. You need to be like over in this territory. Why? Chuck that marker. Why? Because you have room to play. See, you should be playing between these two numbers. So if I start here, I got nowhere to go. Like, it's so tight, I can't even get it. This is realtor stuff in here. Do you want to be a realtor or a wholesaler? If you start here, I guarantee you're going to get a no. But that's okay. I know your entire life you've been horrified of the word no. I'm going to teach you today how to embrace it. So let's talk about, see, the bottom line is if you do the hard up front, you'll get a much more desirable result. But what do? We all like, I got to get a yes because like I've got to get that short. You're looking for that short-term dopamine rush. Okay, you got a yes to a contract, but you got a yes to a dead-end deal that no cash buyer is ever going to buy, and you got to unwind that contract, and you could risk actually being held accountable for that contract because you were reckless in how you made the offer. I know they're going to reject me. So I tell you what, I'm going to do the stoic approach. You ready? Expect rejection. I'm going to teach you how to expect a no completely up front. But I'm not here for the go for no today. Like, you guys know I love that. I love that so freaking much, and I know it works. But you've got to understand that. See, if you go for a yes when you start out wholesaling, it's going to lead to a no because you didn't get the hard part done. You spend all that time building up the rapport. There's a reason for it. Number one, you're a decent human being. That's what we're all here to help each other out. As much as everybody craps on each other, there's a reason why we use voice and language and we can communicate with writing. It's to help people out. And so I want to help myself out. I want to help out sellers, and I want to help you guys out. So I honestly, The worst feeling I've ever had in wholesaling is when I thought, see that word? Oh my God, it's terrible. I thought I made a lowball offer and they said yes. The psyche running in my mind, I go, oh crap, I think I overpaid for it. And I was looking for a way to reduce the price, and it messed with my psyche, and I learned how to just go for no on every one of them. So we want to get the heart out of the way. So here's the reason why most of you want to comp everything. Here's the absolute truth. And then we're going to go in and we're actually going to show you how to comp. It's going to be so stupid simple, it's going to piss you off probably. But here's the reality is, stop trying to be certain about every lead's comp. It's killing your wholesale career. So face it, how many people on here, you get 25 leads, maybe you pull it from a government list or something, or 100. And then you take that entire worksheet and you comp the entire thing out. Now, in the old days, I tell you, spend 10 minutes comping, and I thought that was like really fast. That was before real technology came along and all the softwares. Now I don't want you to spend more than a minute. Listen to me, 1 minute. Why? Because till you get down to that final negotiation of the contract, it doesn't really matter. And what's the ultimate goal as a wholesaler? To buy at the lowest price possible that moves the deal forward, and sell it as quickly as possible with selling vision to the cash buyer to take over your contract and making as much money as possible while creating a win-win situation. There's only one recipe for that. It's not comping. It's marketing and finding people that need to sell their property and getting it for the lowest possible price. You are doing a service. Everybody I buy a house from, I'm helping out. I'm not, if you think you're ripping off people, you're doing the business wrong. You don't understand the value of it. This is why there's pawn shops in every town. The only difference, instead of you pawning a phone or you selling a piece of computer equipment or an old radio, you're using the real estate. And if you guys think you're not doing right, you should get out of wholesaling, because that's what you do. I once worked for a company that, in my opinion, sold such a slimy product. I'm just going to say it. I worked for a rental car company and they sold the insurance on the car. It was a massive money maker. It was just to the point, like, the reality is, if you had your own insurance, it just transferred over to the rental car. But everything we did in that company was pretty much break even, and the insurance is what you made all the money and the bonuses on. And I remember telling my boss, I go, it's like, I have little old ladies here with like the best insurance in the world, and you're telling me to sell her this crap. I didn't believe in it. Even though I was a very good salesman, I didn't become a good salesman because I didn't believe in it anymore. And so if you guys don't believe what you do in wholesaling is helping out the community, you're doing it wrong. I get little old ladies, I treat them just like they were my mom or my grandma. Why? Because it's the right thing to do, and that's what we do. So stop trying to comp every property. You're doing it because you want certainty in your life. And when you come into wholesaling, we're going to switch from certainty to uncertainty, from comfortable to uncomfortable, to just getting you feeling very weird about yourself. Raise your hand if you feel weird as a wholesaler. I tell you, my first 3 years, I was in shock what I was doing. I'm like, I can't even find anyone else that does it. Back then, I didn't have the internet. I didn't have people I could associate with it. I thought I was kind of losing my mind. And if you ever felt that way in wholesaling, you're not alone. Now you guys can at least communicate it in Discord and all that other fun stuff. But I got to tell you, man, I thought I was losing my mind. I went from a corporate world to the extreme opposite. And I accepted that what I learned in the corporate world was not going to get me ahead when it came to wholesaling. Although I resisted a lot of things, comping is one of them, and I'm here to show you. Now, we're going to do the hard first. So let's talk about rules of comping. This is so simple, so easy, and we're going to hop on and do some one-on-ones. And if you guys just follow these rules, we can do this and we can get this done. I love some of your comments. We're going to go through these. So, and then let me do this before I forget, because I got ADHD. By the way, if you guys ever got diagnosed or something with ADHD, it's not a curse, I promise you. It's actually, it's an extreme blessing. You just got to learn how to manage it. one day I'll actually do something to help you guys without ADHD, because it seems like 70% of society has it. We just think differently, we operate differently, and there are things to help you out with it. But I put a link on there if you want to hop on a one-on-one. Just be patient with me, okay? So if we understand this, so rule number one, super, super simple. Seek motivation first. A comp should not exist if you do not have a motivated seller, AKA someone who needs to sell. Now, my formula, my keep it simple, stupid formula is ODN. Off market, direct to seller that needs to sell. You hit on all three of those, that is the perfect avatar for a wholesale deal. Now, do all my deals have all three of those hit? Rarely. Let me let you on a little clue though. There's three. If my deal has, I don't want to put up the wrong finger here. If my deal has 2 out of the 3, I've got a good shot. I mean, a really good shot. My deal only has 1 out of the 3. It's usually going to be dead on arrival or need a ton of follow-up. If it hits on all 3, I should be able to close that deal right there. And it took me 20 plus years to really come up with that stupid, simple formula. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. So seek motivation first. If there's no motivation, unless you want to play realtor and comp people's houses for free, they can do it. Hey, here's a little clue. They can do that on their own. So why waste your time doing it? Everybody got that? So the next one. As you're working with your sellers, and say they gave you everything, maybe it came off of a probate, maybe it was a tax delinquency, and you turn around and go, hey, say you're calling them back, or maybe you're doing this whole thing while you're on your phone. Before I get in the numbers and even make an offer, say I'm doing it virtually, which sometimes you have to go pretty quick. Before I share my numbers and my insight or anything, I'm going to re-verify their motivation. Simply go through my MCTP and just make sure. Why? Because you're going to waste your time and effort making presentation to people that want to sell their house. Because if you do that, they take your information, they go, thank you very much, Rick. I'll never talk to you again. And then they go to the next wholesaler. And they go until they meet someone that forces them to kind of make a decision. Or not forces them, but the right wholesaler says, I'm not going to let you peg me in a corner. Let me know when you're ready and we'll put an offer together. See, sometimes most people just aren't ready for the offer. If they're not ready for the offer, don't give it to them, because they're just going to use you like a wet rag. Oh my, I got killed my first 3 years doing it. Just like a lot of you guys are doing that. So one, before I initially shoot over the bow, if there's no motivation, do not waste your time. People want to sell their house. They need to go to realtors. They need to go to make-believe wholesalers. And these are people that typically have seller agent programs and stuff like that. It's just not my forte. Go find those people and let them show you how to do it. Most wholesale deals, so you know, do not go to MLS. It is the opposite of ODN. It's on market. You can't be direct with the seller and they want to sell. So if you're okay going through 5 or 10,000 leads to maybe get one just slightly below retail, knock yourself out. This is why the only time I ever harvested deals from the MLS was 2010 and 11. Why? There was so many properties for sale and there was no buyers. And it was weird. But I didn't even, like, you could get deals anywhere. The challenge was getting them sold. So guys, I've been in every market. I've been in the worst market. I've been in the best market. I've been in weird markets. I've been in pandemic markets. I've learned a lot about this business, and I want to share with you in the secrets that there's no secrets. That's the secret on it. So if you know that, just stop overcomping. You don't need to know the outcome of everything in your life. I know in school they taught you that. So if you guys have this big, I saw somebody, oh my God, it was about a month ago. He had a giant list he pulled from X leads. And he goes, I got to know the comp of every one of them. Even though it even spit the value out for it, he wanted to go one by one. I go, dude, you're going to be here for a week. Most people comp because they want certainty, because they don't want to feel like they don't know the answer to their seller. A wholesaler, it's the opposite. We don't release our information till we have all of their information. And if the information is not good, don't waste your time. Do not overcomp, guys. It's not a skill you're going to make more money. So here's the one rule I've learned in comping. You guys can chime in on this. The more you comp, the more you doubt your offers. That's right. Because you're constantly trying to get variables like, oh my God, there's a new comp. I got to change it. And it's not your job as a wholesaler. We do not compete in the retail market. So comping is designed for the retail market. Now, your buyers, your cash buyers, they got to do this stuff. That's not my problem. I just know if a property's worth 200, I just know I got to buy it below that to make sense. And my buyer wants to be below it too. So like, why do I care if it's worth 200 or 210? I have to concentrate on number one, locating it, and number two, getting it for as low as I can. Oh my God, I'm scared. Like, I don't want to get rejected. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't get that memo when I was 15, 16, when I was in high school. I didn't want to get rejected either when I asked a girl to the prom. It felt horrible. Nobody trained me that it's okay. It's no big deal. And some of you have like that PTSD from rejection, you know, like selling those cheesy stuff in your high school. And then they'd have people sell like $50,000 of promo stuff. And then the person got a prize. They got like a teddy bear, or they got like a Build-A-Bear. And the reality is it's the kid's parents that sold it. Dad wrote a check for like $2,000 and their kid would win. That's how it was when I sold the candy bars. I ate more candy bars than I sold, I think. It's just the God honest the truth. And it scarred me for a long time. I didn't understand sales. Nobody spent the time and taught me until I educated myself on it. So rejection's okay. You're not going to get hurt. I know a lot of you get trauma, but like, we got to step up. Guys, stress and trauma forges you and makes you the person that you want to become. If you have no stress and everything's given to you, you're done. Do you know that the foundings of like some of the smartest like people in Buddhism are from people that had everything, and they found out like the meaning of life is not everything's supposed to be perfect in your life. Did you know happiness is not a goal? It's an outcome. It's the journey of life that comes, and then happiness should come with it. But it's not an on and off. It's not a button that stays on forever. It's impossible. Trust me, 55 years, I'm going to tell you that. So your goal as a wholesaler is to push yourself. Stop overcomping, because it's going to make you very doubtful. And you're going to think like a realtor. And I don't want you to do it. Remember, if the property's worth 200, I need to be offering down there. And if I go up here, it's just, okay, I only make 20 grand instead of 30 grand. But some of you guys start here at your MAO, like I told you right here on the board, and then you're like, crap, what do I do? He said no. I don't know what to do. You're stuck. So check it out. If you guys go to freewholesaling.com, you can learn all about go for no. I'm here to tell you, man, it works. I know it's scary. It's just because you've never really stressed yourself out in life, and nobody taught it to you, and your parents didn't teach it to you, your teachers didn't teach it to you. I'm here to teach it to you. It's perfectly normal. I avoided all this crap when I was young. I don't know about you guys. Let me check comments so I keep moving here. So, Andrew, I'm not saying I don't comp. I only comp deals with motivation from people who need to sell. Do you understand that? If I get 100 leads, I'm comping less than 5% of them on average. But most of you guys are comping 100% of them, and that's the problem. And then you're chasing comps. So if the comp tells you the property's worth $220,000, you're like, that can't be right. You know why it's not right? Because you put it under contract for $220,000. And then you go, oh, I found a comp for $255,000. I get that all the time on sellmypaper.com. I go, no, the comp is the comp. Let me ask you, when you go get a blood test, Do you try to go pick the numbers out that works best in your favor? No. A blood test is a blood test. Unless they screwed your blood up, those are your results. And you have to act accordingly on the results. When your teacher gave you a test and they graded it, if you got an F, it was just an F. And you go, no, you graded it wrong. Wait a minute. You need to do the bell curve. You need to do this crap. Guys, the outcome's the outcome. Are there a lot of variables in comping? Yes. The reality is, here's your comp. Here's the comparables for the property. Who cares if you're 10 or 15% off of it? Because you need to be buying down here. And if you're trying to comp because you can barely see any space between your MAO and the value of the property, it's not wholesaling. And it's the number one problem you guys presenting me deals. This is why I have to do a live stream like this. So Andrew, yes, you do have to comp. I'm not telling you not to comp. I'm going to show you how to do it easily here, okay? But you only comp when it's necessary. If you comp everything, it's like, and then you go, oh, I looked at a 3.2 yesterday and it was worth $385,000. So then you get a lead today. Well, here's this one. Wow, that one's worth 380. That comp starts to mess with your doubts. Like, crap, I can't pay more than this. Like, no, it's a different neighborhood. It's going to be a different comp, and you got to understand that. But what was their motivation? Why are you talking to them? What problem do they need to solve? What is their story? And can I help them out as a wholesaler? If you can't, you're just playing realtor. And I find most people are just playing realtor, and we can't make that one happen. So, okay, let's keep going here. I'm almost done. Well, we're going to get started again. So number one, we seek motivation, and then we re-verify it before we get into the offer. Why? I want to make sure I got someone motivated. I can't tell you how many times in my first 3 years, people took my offers, threw me around like a wet rag, and then went with other people because they held back. They were patient. They knew exactly how to make the offer. So if we understand that, we're going to stop overcomping, meaning only comp with people that you have a good shot at getting a deal, people who need to sell. Now, as I said earlier, stop going for that initial yes. Stop trying to use your MAO because you're trying to get in your seller's head. I want you to go for no. Now, there's a psychological play here. Those of you that expect to get a no, it makes your conviction stronger. Those of you that are horrified to get rejected, if I tell you, hey, Johnny, you're going to expect to get a no in your first offer, it doesn't shock you when they give you a no, or they even yell at you or anything like that. Now, understanding this only works when you're dealing with people who need to sell their house and you are building rapport and you are connecting with them and building trust. I promise you, someone will take this live stream and go, that's the stupidest thing I would go for. No, that's so stupid. It's so stupid. It's probably one of the best taught tactics across all industries, not just mine. They actually wrote a book on it too. Do you guys think I invented it? I didn't. I actually found it by accident. I just said, listen, let's go for no because it's easier. It's harder to get the yes than it is the no. So let's just get the no out of the way and find out where the seller is. Because here's what I did for the longest time. I wanted to try to get in my seller's head. Most of you guys create the MAO because you believe that's what your seller should be taking, and that's would be a realistic expectation from a wholesaler. It's garbage. You don't ever play poker because you'll get killed. It's not a game. It's a process. Why do realtors list everything 10 to 15% above price? Why? Because they want to make people feel like they got a deal. So I need you to think the same way in reverse strategy when it comes to that. So let's talk about this. Tools for comping. Okay, Rick, how do I comp? I told you when I started wholesaling, I actually had to go to a realtor's office, get in my car, drive, sit there, let them do a comp thing. And on average, to get me one comp was 30 to 45 minutes from a trained professional. Now, I'm trying to prevent you guys from doing that. Hear me out, okay? Now, we're now in 2025. It's a whole new world. Comping is, the reality is comping is available to every homeowner, and they comp their own houses probably on a daily, if not weekly basis. You guys do it too, let's be brutally honest. Now, when we do that, it's a different ball game. So I'm telling you this right now. A lot of you are going to laugh about this first one, but it's the God honest truth. Some of you've got to use your brain to comp. What do I mean by that? You can use all the AI, you can use all the software, and I'm going to show you the tools to do it with. But at the end of the day, you got to put some common sense in it. If it is a butt ugly property and you wouldn't buy it, what do you think the rest of the community's going to? They're going to think the same thing. So you have to severely discount a property that's ugly. And what do we got? What do we do as wholesalers? We seek the ugliest properties in the industry, the ones that realtors want nothing to do with. So if the property has no curb appeal, you're going to have to put some common sense underwriting in this. Like there ain't no, like I know this property comps between 170 and 200. I don't think it's worth more than $150 because it's ugly. And it's been on the market. It was on the market 6 months and they took it off the market. Now we're talking about it. I know it's going to be nowhere near 200. It's not even going to stiff 170. It's going to take somebody 150 and below to even consider that property. I'm going to start at 70. That's how I approach a property like that. A butt ugly property that can't be fixed even with the best rehabber or contractor. Do you understand that? So what I'm telling you is you have to use common sense. Seek the end result. There's just some properties that just, that one's not going to hit the comp range. So if I have a comp range from 175 to 200, and the house is just, it's got issues. And some issues can't all be solved with money and time. I just go, I go, okay, 175, I'm going to call that one 140 on its best day if they do everything to it. But some of you guys, oh, it's worth 210. I'm like, dude, look at the pictures of that thing. There's no way in hell it would be ever worth that number. So you got to use you've got to use common sense when doing comps. Especially those of you who have to go out and look at the properties. If it smells terrible and it looks 10 times worse in pictures, go down. So here's a little rule I'm going to let you know that I didn't put this in there is I'm conservative on comps on purpose as a wholesaler. Why? I'm not listing the property. I'm buying the property. And if I screw up the comp and I use the comp as my ultimate determinant, I'm going to lose my butt. So if my comp range is, say, it's from 385 to 350, guess what my comp is? Is it 385? Some of you will say it's 395. You go the realtor routes. The reality is my comp on that's 350. My easiest thing, if you want to analyze comps, pull them up, throw out the high and the low, and keep the tightest radius as humanly possible. Keep the square footage within 10% under air, and make sure the year built was within 15, 20 years. That's how I count properties. I never go outside my range. I am my own bank. I do not want to lose money. Now, if you do wholesaling right, you don't have to risk that, but I don't want to waste time and be rewriting contracts. So we have to understand that. So if we know that, we have to put common sense in it. And for God's sakes, guys, listen to me. Stop being a baby about the comps. If you put a property under contract for 200 and every comp's coming in at 150, listen to your own data and go rectify the problem. Now, usually that house is going to be a train wreck anyways, and you have a reason to renegotiate it or get out of the contract and move on. We cannot be tying up sellers' properties because we don't know how to write a contract and we don't know how to comp. So let's quickly walk through a crash course on comping. If this takes me 5 minutes, shut the live stream off. I actually got to watch my clock here. Okay. So first thing is, you guys have a million AI tools. I'm not going to give you a demo on it. It's just simple. I swear to God, put the property in, chat GPT and say, what's the comp for this property type of deal? Because it's going to take your Zillow. It's going to take this. And you know what? It's not always going to be accurate because it wasn't designed as a comping tool, but use it. Also, manually, my God, every owner knows what their property is worth in Zillow. My property is worth this estimate, whatever. Then just look it up and average them out. You could do this manually right here, realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin, Trulia. It just goes on and on. I know there's a homes.com, whatever all this crap is. People have too much information now. Just take the average. And here's what I'm gonna do, guys. I'm gonna take the lowest end of that average if I have a motivated seller. Please stop comping like a realtor. You're wasting your time when you do that. Okay, let me, okay, I put that in there. No, I did that. So let's do this. I want to pull something up for you. Oh, you got to click that button. That's new. Okay. Hold on. I got to access a button here because got to use my fingerprint. Boy, these computers are getting fancy. Later. Okay. Let's see if that works. Now, where was I? Okay. I want to do something here for you guys. Hold on. Let me remove this. Let me take this off. So we always talk about how can we really make this work? And the reality is, okay, how do I use all these tech tools? I'm going to tell you guys, you do not have to have a perfect comp. If the property's worth 200, I got to be down here. Now, the one thing that you guys usually screw up, I'm just going to be brutally honest, is the rehab on the property. So if you're doing wholesaling right, you're probably seeking out problematic properties. Give me a turnkey rental property, easiest property of them all to comp. Why? Because it's ready to go, it's in great shape, and I can either use the comp or I can use the rental cash flows or I can use a combo of both. It's a piece of cake. Piece of cake. The problem is when we get a property that's worth 200, it needs 50 grand worth of work. How do I make an offer on that property? It can be challenging, and I get it. So if you can't use the common sense thread, so if the property's worth 200, it needs 50K worth of rehab, which usually means 70, but let's just say that's the big number. It's worth 150. Your offer's got to be below 100. I'm just telling you the truth. Why? Because you're going to have to negotiate it. And when they say no, they're going to come back and go, Rick, I can't take anything below like 132 on it. Okay. Now I'm negotiating between 132 and like 100. That's where I get it done. You see, I'm looking for the end result, but most of you are focusing on how can I get out of this uncomfortable position as fast as possible? Stay there. This is how Stoics do it. This is how you need to do it. If you stay there, you're going to learn and it's going to become your new norm. And then every deal going forward, you know how to make an offer. Guys, if I make 10 offers, if 1 or 2 get accepted, I did my job. So I get rejected 85 to 90% of the time. You have to be doing the same numbers as I do. If you're getting a 100% acceptance rate, I guarantee you're acting like a realtor and you don't want to do that. So what I like to do is show you something so stupid, simple, it's ridiculous. And I'm just showing, and listen, you can use AI anywhere. You don't have to use X leads. I'm just going to share it with you. Let's put it on the screen here. I'm going to go back to list. I got to be careful that I don't show you everything here because I get in trouble in this. Let's just pick, I'm going to pick a random property, and I got to cover up phone numbers because I get in trouble for this stuff. Okay. Yes, X Leads gives you their phone number, their email, all their contact information. Step 1. And by the way, guys, you can get this in the basic plan with X Leads, but however you do it, look at this. It tells you the retail value of the property is $245. Tells you what it'll rent for if you had a turnkey property. But remember, turnkey properties on single family residentials based on comps. The next one, oh my God, $159,840 a wholesale. So this is how I look at this. I'm talking to the seller, say their house is in foreclosure. The ARV is 245 on its absolute best day, right? I'm giving you with confidence because you guys won't come up on your own. Make your offer at 150. There you go. You know, the old days, I used to take the number, just cut it in half and made the offer, and then I worked my way back up. Now, this doesn't work on people who want to sell their house. And if you're working with realtors, it's an absolute waste of time. I even admit that. But if you want to do wholesaling, wholesaling is you could go in an XLeads account with the basic account, get your free skip trace, get everything included, 245. And if you even got close to this number, I'd be proud of you. Now, the one thing you have to factor in is, does it need repairs or not? And that's where we kind of get some insight into it. Now, the wholesale number, pretty much you can get away with repairs. If it's heavy repairs, you'll probably have to renegotiate it. Now, a couple things here. If you do the upgraded account with XLeads, which is not a requirement because this is enough to get you by. And if you don't have a deal, stick to the basic. You can do basically, we have a deal ninja and we use AI. This is like using ChatGPT in the wholesalers world. And then it's just going to go in here and say, Zach, listen, this property is a great fit. It's going to tell you why. Inherited, free and clear, off market, potential motivated seller. It's a senior owner occupied, and it's going to give you some guidance based upon renovations. If it needs heavy rehab, 153, and we give you this general number. Do you understand how AI works? It's that simple. Stop taxing yourselves on comping, guys. It's ridiculous. Now, if you want to even get more and more insights, you can get all that. You can click the Deal Ninja button here, and it'll walk you through. And you can get a market snapshot. Say I want to show me comparable sales on the property. I didn't put in the property address on it. Oh, it's asking the address. But you can go through it here. I think my mic. Let's see here. Oh, okay. We'll allow this time. Give me a market snapshot of Birmingham, Alabama market. And so if I was doing, I want to use AI, I want to get a quick snapshot, I just spit out commands like this. Guys, this just gives me speed and efficiency. And I don't want you to use AI to get in the weeds on comping. But I've shown you how to do it manually. I've shown you how to use ChatGPT. Just put it in there and keep learning the process. But if you truly want to use AI at its peak, I would use it in some sort of wholesale software, because let me take this off the screen. That's where it's the most powerful. And that's where XLeads is going with everything we're going to do. Because listen, at the end of the day, AI is not going to talk to the seller for you. It's not going to close the deal. It'll get you to the seller faster and find you more motivated sellers, but you're still going to have to do the work. It just gives you greater tools. So when it comes to comping, I can tell you this. The XLeads is the best if you want to use AI. There's nothing even close to it. I promise you this. Plus, you get all the basics on the marketing. It's much more than basics. You get everything you need. You get 15,000 leads. If you don't have a deal right now, you should be exhausting all 15,000 leads using your government list, everything we teach over at freewholesaling.com. And guys, use the go for no. If you expect and work towards the end result and get a no up front, you're going to get the hard done, and it'll get you to easier times when you go to sell your deals in just a couple phone calls. Some of you guys I heard the other day, I made 32 phone calls to cash buyers. Uh-oh. I promise you overpaid for that property, period. End of story. You've got to understand that. So what I'll do is we'll answer some questions here, and then we'll hop on and do some one-on-ones here, and we'll get that going. So guys, the course is right there, freewholesaling.com. Do not be a realtor. If you want to be a realtor, go to a realtor show. There's tons of realtors to teach you how to do the perfect comp. But the reality is, here's the comp. Here's where you need to be. So if you're here, here, or here, who cares? If you start at MAO, you're stuck. There's nowhere to go. It's a humiliating conversation. And that's what I see most people that do their like live negotiations with people with internet leads. Why? Because they approach the MAO. And then I just don't get it. Like, it's just, you're wasting people's time. I'm not sitting there 4 hours negotiating with somebody. If they're not even in the ballpark, I leave them and go find other people that want to play ball with me. And that's as simple as that. And I want you to understand that. So let's jump on and answer some comments. I had a bunch of them here. So Jeremiah, you be the judge of that. The skip tracing, like we pay the top data providers for it. But like I've noticed, I could do a research on X leads, on all the other softwares, which just do little pieces of wholesaling. But like use example direct mail. Oh, direct mail sucks. So I didn't get a deal off of that. It's someone's opinion. So be careful if you take skip tracing opinions. Most people's skip tracing opinion are going to be based on people that have a competitive service. So I try to be fair about it. No skip tracing data is perfect, but you get like go through it and get it. Like if you want to pay like 5 to 10 cents a piece, go for it. It doesn't mean it's better data. We've just negotiated the best deal possible because of our influence in the market. And I've been wholesaling for 23 years. I know the right people, the right companies to make deals with. I need a ton of skip trace data. You think I'm going to trust another service to do it? If it's good enough for Rick, it should be good enough for you. But you got to test it out low. That's the best way to do it. That's it. What's up, Platinum? Okay. What else did I have here? Let me go to the top, jump down, and I'm going to jump on these lives. We got plenty of time. Let's see. I got the microphone thing. We can't hear you. Okay. You guys got to give me, at least, I need 2 hip phrases that old people like me wouldn't understand so I can punk my son. And I promise you, I will do it on the live tomorrow. So if you can share it with me, I just remind you. I had no idea cat means lie and Riz is cool, but once again, it's that's just the way it is. Most of your questions are pretty straightforward. Make an offer. So here's a good one. So Alex says, make an offer so low you're embarrassed. Make an offer so low that when you get no, then you work at a good point to actually be making some spread. And he's right about that. And I want you to understand, somebody wrote a book that's like splitting the difference. Never split the difference. If you use my method, means Zach's method, you split the difference all day long. Why? Because if you start here and they need to be there, if you split the difference, you're getting screwed. The way I do it, if you start here and they're there and you split the difference, you win. So never splitting the difference, I agree in a retail setting, but in a wholesale setting, man, like no way. You guys understand the reason why I'm so adamant about like not overcomping is because we need to be so far below the retail price on that property. Why sit there and fight for that last 5 to 10 to 15%? It's not going to make a difference to us. Now, if the property winds up being worth more and there's more demand, you just make more money. It is what do they say? It's like the whipped cream on top of the ice cream. God, I love whipped cream. One of my problems in life. But Alex makes a very, very, very good point there. Let's see. So Sebastian says, if there's not any sales in the area, is it worth doing it? So this is where the common sense approach has to come in. Like you can't discount. You got to ask yourself, why are there no sales in this area? Is it such a great area nobody's selling, or is like nobody want to be there? That's the first question you got to answer. But listen, there's always a market for a certain type of property. Like in South Florida, the cost to live here is ridiculous, relatively comparable. But then I go to California, it seems cheap. And I go up to like the Northeast, it seems cheap. But I used to buy mobile homes for $3,000 to $9,000. Thought I was kind of overpaying for them. They're all worth $200,000 now, and they're standing room only at $1,200 to $1,500 a month. Why? Because it covers a basic need for people. So here's how I look at a house. Worst case scenario, how much could it be rented for? And if you don't know, stick a sign out or run an ad, not an ad, just do a post somewhere, Facebook Marketplace, and see what people are willing to pay for it. And then you could just work your number back and you should calculate it into an ROI. And honestly, with a property like that, you should be getting a massive return because you're taking on some risk. Now, I want you to transfer that risk and sell your contract, but your buyers are going to ask these exact same questions that we're exploring right now. Why is nothing selling in that area? Is it good or bad? And what's the worst case scenario? If I offered basic housing, would people jump all over it? And that's what I've done a lot of those. I own a lot of houses like that. I own some of the ugliest houses in the worst neighborhood stuff make me the absolute most cash flow. But I know I'll struggle selling them. So I just constantly just keep moving them. I've been kicking one house 15 years to the can. I don't even have clear title on it. But I go, okay, what's a stupid number where everyone will rent it? And I found out what it was, and it works. So Kyle, you never know unless you explore the opportunity. So why not just reach out, try to get their phone number, skip trace it, next leads or whatever it is. But why not? What do you have to lose? There's no risk there at all. You don't, if you don't take a shot, you have no chance of scoring the goal. So take the shot. Let's see here. So Leon, I appreciate it. Really cool last name, by the way. I mean, it's a guidance point, but here's, if you do wholesaling right, if I get the property under contract for the lowest price possible and I get someone to pay me more, who cares what the formula is? And you got to know what your cash buyer's aptitude is, in that market. And you should have your ears to the ground to understand it. Now, if I have a deal where I can't make the numbers work, maybe I have criteria like this, which is a good reference point. It doesn't mean you can't make a deal. So maybe this one's at 86.5%. The MAO, they go, well, crap, I'm not writing a contract for that. But maybe I reach out to my cash buyers list. I go, listen, I got a property in this zip code. It's the 2.2, not the 3.2 you normally desire. But what would you be willing to do? It needs about 10 grand worth of work. What's kind of your range? And he's going to look at comps, let him do the comps. And he goes, well, I could probably give you like $150 for it. I go, crap. She said she'd take 142.5. Let me try 140. You can make it 10,000. Do you understand? Like, if you get set and like married to a formula, you're going to miss opportunities. It's a good guidance thing. Like the 70% rule. I'd buy every house I could buy 70 cents on the dollar for the most part. It's like getting a $20,000 Rolex and someone gives it to you for 10 grand. Take it. I know you don't have the money. Go find someone that'll loan you the money, or go find someone you can do a transaction and sell that watch too. That's all wholesaling is. So be careful with the formulas. That's the main thing that you guys got to understand. So Dom understands the Go for No book. It's about like this thick. I got it in my other studio. I'm in the other office. You can read it in a couple hours, like an hour or two, a couple hours maybe. It's designed for the ADHD type of person, which is me. And it just teaches you why you want to do it. Just do things in reverse order and it works. It works in all aspects of it. Don't do it with your significant others. That's the one that you don't want to do that one. You get in trouble in that one. Let's see here. Okay, let's jump on. We got some time for some one-on-ones, and let us jump here. Let's see who's up here. Adriana, you there? Turn my volume up. Adriana, your microphone's muted. I'll come back to you. Julia, is she there?
Yeah. What's up?
What's going on, man?
Good. I just have a few basic questions.
Let's do it.
Beginner. So you're talking about comps. Shouldn't you have an accurate comp to show the cash buyer so that it establishes the credibility you have with the buyer that shows that you comped correctly?
So, first of all, what's your definition of accurate?
I guess like the buyer trusts that you're not like going around his back or something like that when it comes to like offering uh I don't know, I guess I'm
You're talking about selling your property, specifically selling your contract, right, to a cash buyer.
correct.
Okay, so you're not going to go around their back because they are your back. If you really think about it, they are your customer. So let's take this scenario. I buy plenty of properties from wholesalers. Do you
Mhm.
think I really trust your comps? Like, let's just be brutally honest. If I've never done business with you,
Right.
if you suggest a comp and I find out it's 25% over market, unless you're giving the property away, I won't buy it from you.
Right.
And so a good real cash buyer, he or she's going to comp it. They're not stupid. Should you know where it is? Absolutely. When you shove it down their mouth, go, it's worth this, and you get in a fight with them, you're not going to win because it's their money. They're going to buy it for what they think. Will they play games with you? Sometimes, yes, absolutely. So you should know the comp. So if a property comp between 300 and like 275, 280, I just stay on the conservative side so I avoid the trouble. And if they go, well, it's worth 220, I just find another buyer. Now, if he says 265, 270, I'm like, well, explain it to me. I just sold one house three doors down. I did on the other block, I did it last year, and the prices have steadily been going down. And then sometimes they'll support data and they help me out. But the minute cash buyers think you're full of it, we just get rid of you right away. I had 3 today. I won't even, your comps are so stupid. And then my favorite is when they tell you what the rehab is. Now, I know most wholesalers are guessing, but I had one today says needs light rehab, $84,000. That's a light rehab. That's a heavy rehab. So I'm just telling you, all cash buyers are going to run their comps and
Gotcha.
they're going to compare it to you. So if you shove a comp down their mouth, it's like, so when someone sends one out, which you should not be doing these blanket emails and these blanket SMS, you guys are all going to get busted doing that. You're not supposed to do that. That's not what wholesaling was founded on. And you put the comp is 385. Here's the 3 comps. And then they cherry pick the 3 comps. And then I run it and it comes in at like 340.
Mhm.
I'm not even going to look at your repair. I'm just going to go past. And then they're asking 372.5. I'm like, I don't waste my time with those people. So I want you to understand this, Julius, your cash buyers are going to comp the property. Even if you give it to them, they're going to run the comps. Should you know your comps? Absolutely. And if you do it right, you go, listen, I'm offering this property for 175. If that's a great fit for you, that's great. We'll get it done. And that's it. They might try to negotiate with a little bit, which is perfectly normal. But like, understand, like when they come in at 120, unless you severely screwed up your comps, they're just playing poker with you. But if you don't understand your comp, now, did I tell you, is it worth 175, 185, or 165? I don't have time for that little game. I'm not going to sit here and like squeeze it out. Hey, here's the comp. I ran the analysis on it. If you want, you could share your comp report. But if you cherry picked it and did all that cute stuff, he or she's going to snuff you out in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So remember, the ultimate comp is what somebody pays for a property, and that's it. And listen, I've gotten properties under contract and I couldn't give them away based on a comp. And I've had other properties on contract that I gave away $50,000, $60,000 because I didn't know what I was doing. You're never going to get it perfect. The idea is if the ARV is here, the retail, whatever you want to call it, you need to be down here. And if you're like right here and if you can't see that gap between the two, it's not wholesaling. It's like pure speculation. It's a waste of time. So I might make 50, I might make 30, I might make 20, maybe 10, but like once I get into this, what's the point, right? And that's what I'm trying to prove my point here. If you send me a deal right now, I don't give a crap what your comp is because I don't trust you. I don't know you. Now, if I bought 4 or 5 deals from you, I go, hey, Julius, if they're the numbers you're usually coming in, and those are my favorite type of people to buy from. I'm all in, like I'm your guy. But when you come in and they miss, most wholesalers try to tell you what the comp is. And when I go through the comps, 90% of the time they're cherry picked. They just take they found a property 3 or 4 miles outside of, I don't ever go outside of 1 mile ever. And I like to do a half mile. That's my real comfort zone. But if it's a house built in the 1970s and you're comping it with a 2010 house, that's not a comp. So I'm not here to get like the realtor specs on it. You need to know what the house is worth within 10%. It's not that hard. That last 10 to 15%, what realtors do, it will drive you guys nuts. You'll never get it right because the comps constantly change every 30 days. You need to know if they're going up in value, down in value, but you take that extra energy and you put it towards marketing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you send me a deal, which any one of you guys can send me a deal at sellmypaper.com. I'll put it on the bottom here. We are running our own comps. We have AI. We run it all through XLeads and it spits us out right off the report. And then we know if we're going to play ball or not. Why? Because I don't have to waste time. I love you all, but I'm not going to have like 1,000 conversations a week. And then out of that 1,000, I'm going to find the 15 to 30 that actually did their job and paid attention, went to freewholesaling.com, and they really busted their butt and they earned it. Those are the ones I'll pick up the phone. I call them all the time. Me and Zach call and go, hey, let's do a deal. We have them do a podcast together, and then we try to give inspiration to other people and show you how you did it. And that's it. The ones that don't want to like go through the proper channels, you're just wasting time and you're pushing. Does it help you out? Like,
yeah,
any quality cash buyer is going to run their own comps. It's 100%. And then if you put it, so my suggestion to you, are you a newer wholesaler?
Oh, a complete beginner. Yeah.
Okay. So you find a motivated seller, get it as low as a price as you can. And you should run your comp when you get down to it to go, okay, it's worth 200. She says she'll take 158.5. Okay. Depending on the condition of the house, you got a deal there. You send it to me. You just give me a price to offer it at. Now that's even harder in my opinion than comping. Don't give me the comp because I'm going to tell you what I think it comps for. You should know your comp. You should have it in your notes. And you go, Rick, listen, if I forgot what I said the price the house is worth, but if you offer it at like, so if I say the house is worth, I forgot, what did I tell you that thing was worth? Yeah, you weren't listening to me either. So this is my ADHD. So God help me. So say the house is worth 250 and you got it under contract at 160. Okay. And it needs some work. Okay. That's fine. So listen, just offer, okay, Rick, I'll give it to you for like 180, 185, something like that. And I might go like this, would you take 170? I'll play with you a little bit to see if you're going to give or not. And you go, no, I've got like 2 or 3 other guys. They said they really want it. I'm giving you first crack. Now you put the ball back in my court and I go, you know what? I'll do, you seem like a nice guy. I'll do 177.5. And you go, if you can make it 180, we can probably make that work. I go 178, take it or leave it. That's how I do it. I do not, I'm like Shark Tank. You ever watch Shark Tank?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got an offer, you hang up this phone, it might not be there when I'm gone because I don't need this property. I want it. I don't need it. And then you go, hey, you know what? I'm making money. You know what? This is cool. I want to do it. And then you make a decision and you're going to learn from that. And that's how you do it. But I know what my comp is. You shove a comp down my mouth, I instantly know if you're full of crap or not. And you know what they do? They cherry pick. You can look at 10 comps and you can pick 3 to support your overpayment of a property. And that's it. And that's how you do it. This is the game we play called wholesaling. And it never works out perfect. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to screw it up. But please do not obsess about comps. Like I'm just telling you, if your range of comp is 350 to 325, what's your comp, Julius?
325.
There you go. So now, no matter you sell it, like if it winds up that they want it more and you get a lot of activity and bidding on it, then you just make 25,000 more. But so many of you guys are hanging on that top number. It's called a comp. A comp is a range, usually 10%. 15 is too much, guys. It's just too much of a range, period. And the bigger the number gets, the more widespread it gets. You guys understand that? It's based on percentages. So, like, you're wrapping your head around this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your highest skill set is what in wholesaling?
The marketing.
There you go. It's not comping. Do you have to do comping? Yes. Just like you have to put tires on a car, you ain't going to get there. If you don't have tires on it, you're going to spark it up and you're going to be on an episode of Cops. So,
cool.
Okay, Julius, you gotta help me with the term so I can trick my son here. See, if it comes out like surprising, it's pretty cool. But if I gotta sit there and like do research on Chat GPT, I look like an idiot. And so if you guys have any terminology, dude, somebody in the comments before we end this thing, share it with me. So Platinum, you submitted your deal. I talk to Tanya a few times a day. So she's one of my acquisitions people at sellmypaper.com. I'll take a look at it. I got to look at the numbers though. I'm just being brutally honest with you. Like that's what we need to know. So, okay. So I got a vote here. I got, Rick, next time Zach briefly interrupts you, just say, hold on, Zach, let me cook. Okay, I'm gonna write that one down. I gotta put it down here, so I don't want my son to see it. Let me cook. This is how old I am. I appreciate it, by the way, Sins. What else we got? Yes, Zach, lock in. Okay, so guys, explain what lock in means so I understand. And then if you tune in tomorrow, the minute he does it, I'm going to shove it in there. So I get the cook. Quit fronting. I don't know about that one. Somebody help me out here quickly. I appreciate you guys, man. Lock in focus. Okay. So I gotta take a screenshot of some of this stuff because I'm gonna lock in focus, look in, get focused, look in. Oh, this is good stuff. Guys, tune in tomorrow, and I'm going to find the most inopportune time to drop this stuff on him, but it's got to gel with timing. Otherwise, he'll stare at me. So that's it, guys. I got to check out here. I'll be on tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern. We're starting our July deal. You know how this goes, man. 30 days, we go hard in the paint. Actually, we're going to be on Tuesday. We're going to be on Wednesday. We're going to be on Thursday. 4th of July, we'll take a little break with you guys. So I'm excited about the 4th of July. It's a fun holiday, and spend time with your families, guys, and enjoy it. So I appreciate you guys. Have a good one. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern sharp. I'm going to drop some terms, man. Be there. See you.